Hey guys, what's going on? It's Andy Elliott. I'm here today with my boy Albert. Albert, what's up, killa? Albert's looking jacked. We were just talking about how his body's changing like a son of a bitch. He's looking better every time I see him. I don't know if you guys know who Albert is. Albert, if they don't, if they want to follow you, how do they find you on Instagram? Just so they can go check you out if they're not familiar with my channel.
At the Albert Preciado, and just Google me, Albert Preciado, you'll find me.
That's right. You said Google my ass.
Google me,
bitches. Yeah. Hey, super important today. We're going to talk about Comeback Kid. That's what I want to talk about, right? Look, I don't really care where you are right now. Everybody has the ability to come back, right? Hey, if you screwed up, okay, you can come back. If you burn someone, if today you lied and you're a freaking cheat and you hate who you are, you can come back. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. We're in a world right now in society where a lot of people, they should be cheering people on to change their lives and come back. But we're in a society whenever somebody screws up and then they start to change their life to get back on track. People are like, oh, wait a minute. You don't know what that guy did before. You don't know what she did. You don't know what they've done. Hey, dude, everybody is going to screw up. And some of us screw up really bad. And you know what I've learned? The biggest obstacles that you can overcome, it makes you immensely qualified to help other people who are struggling with those same obstacles. And another deal is that life isn't fair, man. Some of us are dealt a crazy-ass hand, and some of us go out and screw our own shit up. I've done both. Okay? So, Albert, today I want to talk about the come-up. Right? I know that you have a big audience on social media. I know that building a brand was something that was important to you. I know that, like going back, not to talk about like Grant Cardone, but like you wanted to get on stage and he was like, oh no, I don't know. And you were like, fuck it, I'm going to go build my own stage then. Right? And I like that. That's one of the reasons why I respect Albert a lot. I love the way that he operates with his family and his team and stuff like that. But I really like that you don't need a handout. Back of my shirt says no handouts.
Yeah.
Okay? So I like that you're a no handout guy, and that's probably one of my favorite things about you is that you figure out how to do the work, get it done, be innovative, and be creative. So anybody that's watching this, number one, tell us who you are, right? And then let's start with your story. I want you to talk about the comeback, like straight up. And I want you to get raw. I want you to tell us anything and everything that we would know so that they can relate with you on the same shit that happens in their life, happens in yours. And then also some good moves that you made that really helped you get to where you are today.
Yeah, well, I think, Andy, like, maybe you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you have a chip on your shoulders. Mm-hmm. I have a chip on my shoulders, and, like, Grant, I learned a lot from him. I have nothing but respect for him.
Yeah.
The thing he did for me was he motivated me to believe in myself more. So when he just didn't allow me to speak on his stage, I said I have to start my own stage.
Yeah, but I love that, bro. I've been told no 1,000 times, and, I liked you. And then when I heard that, I was like, oh, I really like this guy now. Not because of him, because of anybody.
Yeah.
Dude, listen, I've gotten told by people I know before, and you know what? Dude, I don't put my head down. You know what I say? All right, I'm gonna shove it down their throat.
Yeah. Oh, you get very pumped up, and I remember the first, because of the Driven event that we started, you were at, I think it was Driven 6,
like 3 years
Driven
ago.
5, and you had like 30,000 followers.
Yeah, we were just cracking up, guys. I had zero social media.
You came on my podcast. And you dropped by, then we went to eat some sushi. Mm-hmm. But I remember that you were so fired up, and you were like, and I remember that you got a few people that were saying things about Andy Elliott and is Andy Elliott real or not. But all you did was just used it for motivation, and you just used it, and you just it drived you to come up, and just like me, like the same thing. That, like when people don't believe in me, the biggest message people can hear and listen to right now is the only person you need to believe in you is you.
Mm-hmm,
so when you use that and you just go for it, like what's going to happen? Worst case, you fail. But what if you never try?
Yeah, that's worse. So talk to us a little bit about your, right, like learning English, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not your first language, right?
Right.
Okay, so you had to learn English.
Yeah.
You come here, right? Or you're born here.
So I was born here. Like my parents, they probably made me in Mexico, but they crossed the border. I was born here, so I'm a very passionate and very proud Mexican, but I'm a very proud American because America gave me the opportunity to like go after my dreams.
Yeah, I love that.
And
that's probably one of my favorite things about you.
Yeah.
Is my whole family, my wife's Mexican, my kids are Mexican, dual citizenship, right? Like I love that you kick ass here and you're in the Latin community really hard.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're very Mexican too, though. I don't know if you.
I feel like I'm a Mexican.
Yeah, you're like a Mexican.
Yeah.
Just like white looking Mexican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to tan just a little bit ago out in the sun.
We have the same style, but yeah, like I went to school and my parents, they said, you know what, I don't want you to be in the ghetto. So I took the yellow school bus and I used to travel an hour every day. Wake up at 5 a.m, take the school bus, go to like a better neighborhood. That's what my parents thought. So I used to go to the valley, and it was like 99% everybody was white. Mm-hmm. So I'm like the only Mexican kid. But my parents, I don't think they thought about, wait, he's gonna go there and he doesn't speak a word of English. So I went there and I learned the hard way. So they put me in special ed class. Then they transferred me to ESL because they figured out, well, he's not really special ed. He just doesn't understand the language. So they put me on special ed. So then I special ed, then ESL class, English second language. So then I start learning English, and then my Spanish gets fucked up. So then I have like fucked up Spanish, fucked up English. So like I'm there and I'm just kind of like winging it, and it was just hard, man. Like elementary school, middle school, high school, I'm bullied, I'm made fun of, I'm being called wetback all the time. And that just fueled me to like show them like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna teach you guys a lesson, and that just motivated me to be better.
I love that shit. By the way, you stuttered, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I stuttered.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time. People are like, man, you're such a good speaker. I'm like, dude, I stuttered. Like I couldn't even get what. I'd be like, what? I couldn't say anything, dude. I felt like an idiot. And then I started training myself, and I started writing down word tracks, like things that I wanted to memorize. And then literally my brain just like started to skip ahead and be like, hey, I already know what I'm going to say. And I stopped stuttering. I beat it. So anybody, you guys, you can beat anything. You know what I mean? I mean, you can change. I mean, no matter what the world thinks of you, he said in the beginning, it's like what you think about you. That's a really hard thing.
5 years ago, like how much money were you making 5 years ago?
I mean, I went to zero 5 years ago. I quit my W-2 job in 2019. I was making $2 million a year, and I went to zero, and I was broke for
5 years ago to now, you turned your life around.
Yeah, I 50x my income. In 3 years, I made a lot of money, and in 2 years, I went broke, becoming a different person. See, the person I was couldn't live the life I have today.
Yeah.
I had to recreate my whole life, man. I mean, dude, there's like a heart that has to be retrained. Like, really, I'm going to tell you guys a secret. I had to devalue money. This is a super important thing. If you want to make more money, you got to devalue money, and you got to retrain your mind how to get freedom and how to recreate your life. Like when I devalued money, I started making more money, and I know what to do with. Because my intentions changed, my life changed, everything changed, my heart changed. I just became a better person, man. I know a lot of people that want to make a lot of money right now, and they think it's going to be a new strategy. It's not. You got to go look in the mirror. The world will give you what you become.
Yeah.
So, but that's the deal. So you're transitioning, you're changing, you get into sales, right? Or do you get into real estate young? What do you do? Because you're in real estate now, and you're doing very well in real estate. But like, so what's the journey? You're you know, it's like you're this comeback guy, right? What are some lessons you learned, right? You know, what are some?
So when it changed is I'm a college kid, so I'm going to college, and I have a best friend. His name is Felipe, and we're so broke, and Felipe gets $20 from his dad. I get $20 from my dad, and we go to Costco, and they have this nice, beautiful Absolute bottle. I don't know if you ever had Absolute, but it's Absolute vodka. It's like 1.75 liter, and it's cheap, so it's $26. I'm a college kid, so I'm like, let's go get that Absolute, and let's go to the beach, and we go to the beach, and we're trying to hook up. We're just college young kids, young adults that want to get laid, and we want to make some money, but we don't have money. We're broke, so. That's our approach, and I was very insecure from like elementary school, middle school, and high school. That I just wanted to get the hot chicks because I couldn't get the hot chicks in elementary school or high school. So we start going to the beach, and we have our Absolute liquid courage, and we're trying to get girls, and then one day I just realized, like, you know what? Hey, Felipe, why are we always ending up in IHOP, but we're broke? We didn't get laid, and we're just here having breakfast. We're hungover, but then I see this young guy, another young guy, and they're there with a hot chick, hungover, but with a hot chick, a Rolex and a Beamer or S500 Mercedes, and I'm like, what are they doing? What are we not doing? And then one day I just asked one of the guys, hey, so what do you guys do? And he's like, I do real estate. So I'm like, you know what? I got to get into sales and start selling real estate.
I love
So that's when I got into real estate when I was 20 years old. I get into real estate. I started selling real estate. Then 12 years ago, I decided to just start my own brokerage. So we start mortgage company, real estate company. We get into that. We start making some money. And, we go through ups and downs. And then right away, I get into, because I'm very big on self-development. So I hired Grant Cardone and Patrick Bet-David as my mentor. So 10 years ago, I hired both of them. So first Grant, I went to Cancun to a seminar where he had 35 people. I was one of the 35 people, and he started mentoring me. But then I said, you know what? I learned sales, 10x, scaling, thinking bigger, going all out, like doing more. But then I'm like, this is not enough. It's very disorganized, a lot of effort, a lot of activity, but it's very disorganized. I need more operations, like systems, processes. How do you build a real business? So I didn't feel like Grant Cardone was a real business guy. I felt like he was more like a trainer, like a coach, like a sales guy. But I needed more operational side for
You got
business.
that from Patrick.
So I had a mortgage company, a real estate company. So I'm like, how do we create like structure? So I hired Patrick. I pay him $10,000 for 4 one-on-one sessions.
That was cheap.
Includes
Wish
dinner.
we could do that right now.
Yeah, includes dinner, going to his house, hanging out, lunches.
Shit.
So I was hanging out with Patrick Bet-David, and the best part is I only had to give him half. So I gave him $5,000, and I finished all the 4 sessions, and then finally I gave him the other $5,000. So the reason though why I know I got Patrick's attention was because I did get a Ferrari. So I got a Ferrari pre-owned, and I started using it just to get attention. But this was 10 years ago. Like nowadays, everybody's trying to do the same thing. But 10 years ago, I got it, and I could barely afford it. But I sent a DM to Patrick. I showed it to him, and I said, hey, you know what? I have a 458 Italia, which I named my daughter Italia after the Ferrari 458.
I love that.
And I told him, hey, I have a Ferrari 458 like you. Let's go to the racetrack. Which one do you go to? I'm here local. I'm in West Hollywood. You're in Glendale. And then he DM'd me back, hey, I'm in Dallas. I just moved out. And I'm like, oh, fuck, shit. So then a week later, I reached out to him, and I said, hey, you know what? I'm in Dallas. I'm going to leave, though. I'm just here Friday. I just got here. It's Friday, and I have to fly back tomorrow. Any way we could meet up really quick. I can stop by your office. So I went to his office. We met up, and it was one-on-one, and it was free. And he just said, show up, contact Mario. Went there, started the relationship, ended up with the $10,000 coaching. So I got him, and then he just taught us sales, operation systems, processes. And then Sil just flew with the operation side, and I just focused on the sales and the drive and the vision, and we just grew the companies.
I love
And that's what happened. That's why I got into sales and real estate and mortgage, and I didn't really know what I was doing, but I just wanted to go for it. I wanted big things in life.
So what's one of the hardest things you've ever had to overcome?
You know, a lot of people don't talk about this, but I don't know if you've been through this, but when you're growing a business, and the more you grow, you have Thursdays, Wednesdays, where you're like, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to be able to cut payroll on Friday. I don't know what's going to happen. I got to pay everybody before me. And a lot of people don't see the dark side in business. People don't see when you get attacked, when you get sued, when people try to take advantage, when people steal from you, when people backstab you. And there's ups and downs. But when you have mentors and you're able to pick up the phone and be like, hey, Patrick, like this is happening. I'm getting sued. They want to settle for $500,000. It's going to go on 3 years possibly. Should I settle? Should I not? And then they give you the advice. Hey, you know what? Do this. Just settle. Just don't waste time with going on for year after year. And or you're able to call somebody like at that level. There's many people, right?
There are people who have had that same
advice.
Situation many times.
And you're able to handle it. But like for me, Andy, like I didn't start 2-3 years ago, and I didn't just start making money with social media. I didn't even make money through social media. Like I made millions just with my real estate company, a mortgage company. I started doing my driven events, started making money like that. I made millions like that. And then after that, that's when I started getting into the online space, started getting into the coaching world and all that. But before that, I made all my money with businesses. So that's where I started. Just business, making mistakes, getting into IRS problems, liens, problems with the state of California, getting sued, people wanting to take me out, and it's been a battle. Like it's been ups and downs, and the bigger you get, the bigger problems you have, and like I love it. Like,
I'm Albert Preciado. If you like what you're watching and you want to learn from an entrepreneur that built 8 companies and makes over $30 million a year, text me at 213-277-6208 and let's make it happen.
nothing nothing faces me.
What is some good advice that you would give to anybody that's wanting to build a big life? Right? What are some skills you think that you need to learn? Some important skills that you think that have helped you right now that you would say, if I could just specifically tell you of a couple skills that I think are really key, what would they be?
Investing, like there's the 2 biggest investments you could make are in yourself. Number one, I'm sure people have heard this before, and then spending,
but that's the truth.
Investing in your business,
right?
And yourself and your business.
And go to yourself for a minute.
Yeah.
What are some things that have helped you, recreate, change, reprogram, alter your identity? What are some things that have helped you?
In the beginning, when I was 19 years old, I was reading 1 book a week. So I just went through 1 book a week, 1 book a week, 1 book a week, 1 book a week. And I read a lot of bad books. But then I came across that book from Grant Cardone. It was called Sell to Survive. Before the Sell to Sell or Be Sold, before that one he had Sell to Survive, I think. And it was the original one. Had a lot of grammar errors and things like that. I read the first book. I heard the audiobook. And I just listened to the audio, and I got a lot from him, but he learned from other people before him. So that changed my life a lot. And then before Grant, I went to a Tony Robbins seminar, and I paid the $99 ticket in the back. And just people can say like, oh, walking on fire, that's stupid. You don't need to do that. But for me, self-improvement changed my life. Like without self-improvement, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not supposed to be here. Like I was a painter at 6 years old. I used to paint homes with my dad in Beverly Hills. And I was 6. That's when I learned, like, you know what? There's bigger things in life than just being average. Because I mean, being average or middle class, it's the same shit. You're still broke.
Yeah. Do you believe this is important, because changing your, you can't change like your DNA, right? Because your parents, you get their DNA, but you can change your bloodline, right? Like you can truly change your entire family from this point forward.
Yeah.
Right. What are some things that you've done to break your bloodline? Like you could have been a painter like your dad, which no disrespect to him, but like you're choosing to break the bloodline to create, different levels of wealth, a different level of lifestyle, a different level of choices. Your kids will have choices that you didn't have when you were young, because their dad was a risk taker, bet the farm, back against the wall, all chips in, chip on the shoulder kind of guy, right? Yeah. So if somebody wants to recreate and they want to change, you've been laughed at a lot, right? Cool, me too. Okay, you've been made fun of a lot, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Everybody's like said you're not going to make it. Okay, cool. Now, how do you keep pushing? What are some things that you use as fuel to keep pushing when, like everybody's not believing in you? And you're like, you got to believe in yourself, right? Yeah. But like, how do you believe in yourself when no one else believes in you, and like you got to push through?
One of the things you said right now, recreating yourself. Like I think that you always have to recreate yourself. Every year I recreate myself because every year is different. And like even going back a few years, when you had hair, you had a little bit of love handles, and your wife grabbed your love handles and you didn't like it. Guy. Yeah. And like the stuff you do, like now I'm like, I got to get on more podcasts. I got to speak more on stages. I got to get more on social media. I got to ask Andy, hey, Andy, so what do you like? Even 2 days ago, you told me, hey, Albert, I do this trick in the mornings with my stories. Remember? You're like, every morning at 5 a.m. I do something with my stories. And I said, oh, cool, I'm going to do that with my stories now. So I started doing the same thing.
It helped, didn't it?
And it helped, yeah. Now I'm getting a bunch of more views on my stories.
Bro, I know so many little tricks, dude.
Yeah.
But what happens is you're mastering.
You got to be coachable. You got to be humble, because you could always learn things from anybody. It doesn't matter if it's Andy Elliott or if it's a young kid that's 16 years old. You should always remain, hungry, coachable, and humble. and I always want to learn, like, why am I here right now? Because I feel like I'm gonna give value, and I feel like I'm gonna get value.
Facts.
If that wasn't the case, I wouldn't be here. I would be back home with my family working. But what am I gonna make in my, like, what? How much money am I gonna make in my office? What am I gonna do in my office right now? Just walk around like an idiot, or do I want to get better? Do I want to recreate myself? I want to learn new things, even if it's a little tweak that I can make.
Yeah.
That's gonna make me more money, more powerful, so that I can help more people.
Okay, so you said invest in yourself, recreate, read books, be around the right people.
You
right?
gotta recreate, change.
Means to physically really change.
Because how many people have used to be big, used to be very successful?
Yeah, they're gone.
10 years ago, they're not here anymore.
Uh-huh.
They stopped doing events.
Uh-huh.
They're not. You don't see them anymore. You don't hear from them. They're not doing anything anymore.
Yeah.
They're slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
So and why
Screw
is it that
that.
there's new people like you that are coming up, and you're like, dude, you're getting like 100 grand followers every month?
Yeah, but no, I get it. Look, I always say this: never let your fans outgrow you, right? Never let your team outgrow you. Never let your family outgrow you, right? Because that's important,
Yeah.
right? Just because Syl's your wife doesn't mean that, I mean, I know that she said, hey, till death do us part, but at the end of the day, she shouldn't put up with you staying the same. You should change every day. So she's like, damn, man, my man just keeps changing. This shit, like, you come in the house, she should be like, have those like hunting eyes, like, I want to get laid tonight from my husband. He is a badass.
Yeah.
Right? Most women, after they get married, they don't look at their husbands that way. Okay? And most men don't look at their wives that way.
Yeah.
Like, I want everything to grow. I want my business to grow. Dude, when you walk into a sales meeting with your team, are they like, fuck, here he goes? And then they're like, we got to listen to this shit, and you just ramble on? Or are they like, God, man, everybody get your notebook. Albert's about to speak. You know what I mean? He's always dropping bombs, right? We got to be ready. There's something today that's going to change our whole life, And so, like, that's the deal. Like, never let anyone outgrow you. That's the key. That's why everybody they start out strong, and it's a new person. It's a new message to the market. So the market receives it. They pay money for a certain period of time. They don't hear anything new. You're gone.
Yeah.
Next guy comes up, right? And so, like, that's why I'm like, dude, fuck you guys. You're not going to outgrow me. Like, I'm going to beat everybody's ass. I'm going to beat my own ass. I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to recreate. I'm going to go psycho. And, I see you being a guy like that, right?
Yeah.
So you said self-investment. And then also, I think you said the second thing was you were going to say, was it real estate? Invest in real estate, or invest in what?
Invest in your business.
Okay, invest in your business. Talk about that for a minute.
Investing in your business could be investing in real estate. So, for example, like, some people invest in real estate and they get passive income. Like, I invest in my business. I have a really good friend. He's a billionaire. He started a business, and he makes his money through his business. And like, I listen to, like, I'll ask him for advice, and I'll ask other people for advice. But I think it's very important to watch the source of your advice. Like, some people like tell you, hey, I check my bank account every single morning, and I get it. Yeah, it could be good, it could be bad. But, like, I asked him, he's a billionaire, legitimate. And I asked him, hey, do you check your bank account? Like, how often? And he's like, I don't really check it. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, I don't really check it. And he's like, whenever I want to buy a $32 million home, I just send the wire. I don't have to check if there's money available.
Dude,
And
I don't know if I'm dumb or smart, but I don't check my bank account.
Yeah.
Now, Jackie may watch it, but, like, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to go.
You just want to create.
Yeah, I want to create. Yeah, I want to work. I don't want to be the integrator who's watching the money all the time. You know what I mean? And I feel like when you do that, I feel like whatever you focus on takes over you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I just think that's negative. You're going checking your bank account. You spend 10 minutes. Why 10 minutes? Because you go there and you check you log in.
Yeah. Plus,
and then
money.
You're like, oh, what's this? What's that? What did I spend here? What did I spend that?
You could burn matches.
That's 10 minutes times 365 dadays. I don't know how many days that is, but it's like maybe 3 or 4 days that you're wasting out of the year that you could use to make more income. So
what he's saying, guys, is number one, be careful who you take advice from. Basically, if you don't want to become them, don't be asking their advice.
Yeah.
And a lot of people go around running their mouth to everybody, and that's the reason why they keep getting shit advice.
Yeah.
I think you need to find the people that you want to become, and then you need to. And by the way, listen, this is me personally. I like to find people who were similar to me, like how I am now,
Mm-hmm.
that have overcame things that
Yeah.
I'm going to need to overcome, and then have created something great.
Right.
So like Andy Frisella, right?
Mhm.
I remember when he was 17 years old. I've listened to this, but 17 years old, he was dating this girl, and she broke up with him. And then for like 5 years, he was like, dude, I am going to terrorize her with my success. She's going to watch me win. And she went around telling everybody I was insecure and I was this way. And he goes, and I was insecure back then. That's good. That was good for me to be insecure, but I'm not any fucking more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And he's like, and so I like that. So when I listen to things like that, I'm like, you said, hey, I was insecure. I was this. Dude, listen, who isn't in the beginning when you're trying to build something big? Trying to find, that you're capable of doing something when there's no evidence that you could do it. The closest thing that I can find as evidence is to go find a human being that has physically done it and then say, hey, can you show me how you did it?
Yeah.
And then if you can just show me the play, then like I just run that play. Yeah. Like that's it.
But something very important for the audience, Andy, is like what I did. I was very insecure, right? So when I got out of high school and I got into college, I started working on all my insecurities. So I was like super skinny, like the twins, the Macklin twins. You know how they were.
I'm gonna send them this video.
And you told them you guys are puny.
Hey.
You guys got to put some muscle on. So like I was skinny like that, but I was like bony skinny. Like I was like 120 pounds. I'm like 5'9", 5'10" on a good day. But I'm 120 pounds. That's very skinny for a 5'9", 5'10" guy.
Super skinny.
That's like a Victoria's Secret model good, but not for a guy. So I'm like, I look like the Macklin twins, but like, shorter, but it's super skinny. Like, so I was very insecure. And then I had a big mole right here that I took off. And I was just very pale because I was just born insecure. My mom used to tell me, hey, stay bad for you. You're going to get cancer. So like I used to cover myself from the sun. I was super pale, super skinny. I mean,
you had
just
that
imagine.
fucking mole.
Yeah, I took the fucking mall off, and so I
it's like a
I
triple
told my
threat.
dad, take this, like Enrique Iglesias, he used to have a big brown spot on his face. He has a huge mole on his face.
Yeah.
Like it was like that, but here on my. So whenever I used to shake hands, girls, I used to feel like, man, they're looking at a chocolate chip on my hand, and then I was so skinny, so I used to wear like long sleeves to cover the mole, and then I was super skinny like Snoop Dogg. Super skinny, like embarrassing skinny, and I'm like, man. So when I got into college, I'm like, I'm gonna get a tan. I'm gonna take creatine. I'm gonna get bigger. So I worked on all my insecurities, and I became on getting better, and it gave me more confidence because if you're like you say, if you're jacked, you're gonna make more money.
Yeah.
And we tell
our
friends
again, it's priceless. Your self-esteem.
Yeah.
Which is like a really important thing when you're going into business or to sales or anything, that you really believe in yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
And so I'm sure your belief like went through a whole new level.
A whole new level. And then another thing is like dude, I'm fucking uncomfortable right now. Like I came to Arizona. I've never, like, I rarely come to Arizona. It's fucking hot. And I was in Vegas. So I don't know if I'm not used to it, but it's dry, and I think I got dehydrated. I was in the sun. You told me like, hey, like you're like, I didn't drink enough water. I don't know if it was the champagne that I had, but I got dehydrated. So I get a cold sore on my lip, and I'm like, fuck, you know what? I'm just in time for the podcast. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? Fucking start crying and be a big baby? I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna show up. So it's the same thing when you speak on stage for the first time. When Grant Cardone and Bradley bully you on a live 10 years ago, you're not experienced, and you have an accent, and you're not good. You don't have the experience. Like, you just got to do it anyways. And you know what? Because I didn't quit, because
That's
I didn't get scared. Like, I remember Tim Grover. I spent a lot of money on him. I paid him to speak on my stages, to mentor me. And he said, Albert, all you got to do is you just got to be great for 1 hour. So, like, if we could do this podcast, right? We're here 30 minutes, 1 hour, 45 minutes, whatever the time is. If we can just give a fucking strong 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour, whatever that case is, then we could go back and feel like shit. But we delivered for that hour.
That's right.
And that's what Tim Grover told me. You just got to be great for 1 hour. It's like when Canelo Alvarez, he has a big fight. You don't think that sometimes maybe it's fight night, and maybe they have COVID, maybe they have a cold, maybe they have a headache, Maybe they have diarrhea before they go into the ring. I mean, you never know what happens.
You know they got
still have
all
to
that
fucking
shit
fight.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because their nerves, it's a nervous system, is going insane because they know how much is on the line.
You can't be
their brand's on the line, their family's on the line, the shit talking's on the line. Their team is counting on them. Their family's counting on them. And you know, a lot of people want to see them lose.
You've been on big stages,
yeah,
like with the biggest names, right? Mm-hmm. Have you ever felt like shit? One of those times where you have to go on stage and there's like David Goggins, there's like Patrick Bet-David or some of the biggest names that are gonna speak. And then you have to go up there, and maybe you feel like the shittiest that you've ever felt. Has that ever happened to you? And if so, how do you perform?
Yeah. So in the beginning, right, when I didn't have the reps in, it was like, man, I hope I do a good job. But now, I mean, because you put the reps in, which obviously anybody watching this, like, you put the reps into anything, and you're not going to get nervous anymore. You're going to be like Kobe Bryant, give me the fucking ball, right?
What if you have COVID and it's a big day,
bro? I train so hard. This is an important thing, and I mean, this is no bullshit. I'm not like giving anybody any like I'm the best, but like if you train on something really, really hard, even if you have COVID and you're blacked out, you can still perform that thing and kick everybody else's ass who's even healthy. Yeah. And so like, I think that's the importance of preparation and practice and like really becoming full mastery, right? But I will tell you honestly, if you're not the best and you don't feel great, you're going to get your ass kicked.
I'm Albert Preciado. If you like what you're watching and you want to learn from an entrepreneur that built 8 companies and makes over $30 million a year, text me at 213-277-6208 and let's make it happen.
Think about your biggest competitor. Like, we don't have to say any names or anything, but just say like, that's my competitor. That's the person I want to crush. You at your worst, do you feel like you could kick his ass?
I'll fucking rip their throat out. I swear to God. I'm doing it already.
Big. Like you at your worst,
I'm coming
should be able to beat the best at their best.
Yes, I'm coming after them, and I'm telling you, it's not even a joke. I'm just saying, like,
even if you feel weak that day.
Facts. There's no way, dude, because their intentions are different. I know what they want. Everybody wants money, and I don't give a fuck about money.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I quit caring about it a long time ago, and that's the game, dude. Every decision I make in my company is like, hey, am I going to be proud of myself 5 or 10 years from now if I make this decision?
Right.
Dude, if I take care of something, look, if a guy right now, if he's like, dude, I paid you $100,000 for something, you know, I want my money, I'm just gonna give his fucking money back. I don't even give a shit, man. Look, dude, it doesn't matter to me. Okay, I over deliver in everything that I do. I take care of everybody and everything I do. And if I can't make you happy, I'm gonna give you your money back. It's fine. Like, I love you, I appreciate you, I gave you my best. Okay, like, we win, we go hard, but dude, I'm after the 5-year game. I don't need anybody's money right now. And a lot of people are playing the money game right now. And I'm telling you, dude, that's the reason why they're not going to be around for very long. Okay? Like, we're making decisions right now. Customer experience. Customer service is giving them what's owed. Customer experience is what the Elliott Group is badass at. And most people have a horrible customer experience. You know what I'm saying? That's the secret, bro. I just gave away the secret in everybody's business. You want to be the best in the world? Your entire company has to be immersed in customer experience. If you walk around here, you see the way our company shows you guys love, the way they treat your kids, the way they treat your family, the way they treat everybody. Dude, you don't walk into companies and people treat people that way. That's called customer experience.
If you give somebody a lot of value and you feel like you give them 100%, and then they ask you for a refund, do you put him on the blacklist or block him, or do you do business with him again?
We love you, bro. Wish you the best.
But would you do business with them again?
Just depends.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, dude, at the end of the day, I see people mess up all the time just like I messed up. There were some people that I thought, you know, weren't the best people, and honestly, they were just fine. It was me.
Yeah.
You know, I was screwed up. So, like, look, remember this. This is called the Comeback Kid YouTube video. And the Comeback Kid means this. Somebody right now could be like, 2 years ago, they wanted a refund, right? Yeah. And I'm just giving an example. I know we're just using the scenario of refunds here. Yeah. But somebody's like, you know, I don't want this. I don't want It's like, dude, listen, man. Dude, I get it. Like, it's cool. Like, I love you, man. I'm not going to beat you here to want to better your life or want to believe you're capable of more or doing that. Like, I love you, man. Look, dude, there's millions of people that need help right now. Okay? And like you said, like, fighting, remember when somebody sued you, fighting that thing? Yeah. Right? Like, dude, I'm not going to let somebody mess with me. Okay? Like, I'm not a coward. I mean, I'll go after anybody. But my point is, if somebody doesn't believe in something that we have in our business, like, we love you. Have a blessed day. Like, we don't need your money. We never wanted it. We wanted you to change since day one. Listen, our whole goal is that our clients, we want them to have the winning mentality. The winning mentality means I'm a winner. So if I bought a course or a training program and went to a seminar and the guy sucked and he didn't do a good job, I'm such a winner. I'm still going to get an ROI from that event because I'm a winner. I'm going to find something that's going to make me money. And so most people, they have the loser mentality. So when someone has a loser mentality, like you just got to say, hey, man, we love you, dude. We wish you the best. Like, here's your dough. Have a blessed day. Listen, you got to understand something. Now they're on their own. Now they got to go find someone else. If a guy like us or a company like us that's amazing, that believes in people, is willing to give someone like that that's hard and difficult to deal with, that amount of love, like they're fucked in the real world. They're screwed, man. And so they always come back.
Yeah.
And so when they come back, I'm not going to be like, hey, I'm like, dude, hey, you made a mistake? No big deal. We love you.
Yeah.
Have a blessed day. Come on. Dude, I'm just telling you, I've screwed up so many times. It's like the prodigal child in the Bible. Kid comes back over the hill. Dad says, get the fatty calf, get my best coat, grab my ring. My son's home. Let's go. And everybody's like, he didn't deserve that. He blew the whole inheritance. And he's like, yeah, but that's my son. It's like, dude, people screw up all the time. People are all going through tough shit. People are all going through struggles. And that's why I'm telling you, like, the whole point of this podcast is everything that they're going through, they can all rebound. They can all overcome it. They can all reprogram. They can literally be the worst of the worst, and they can become great. And, dude, if you put my whole life on display until I was 39 years old, I would tell you, I don't like that guy either. So if somebody's like, yeah, but you don't understand. Hey, dude, I understand. I didn't like that guy either. Okay, I wish I was around the right people. I wish I had the right influence. I wish I was plugged into circles like I am right now. I wish I was plugged into information like I am right now. I wish I was going to the gym like I do right now. I wish I was being good to my wife and my kids and myself. I was pretty shitty to me. No wonder I was shitty to everybody else. And so, like, when you can tell someone that, hey, you can do all that and then from today forward you can restart, like, I think people want that message.
Right.
I think, and by the way, it is the truth. Human beings are resilient. We'll end it with this, and then you can actually end the part. But my wife's brother got jumped in Mexico. Mm-hmm. July 1st, we got a call, right? This is like a month and a half ago. Mm-hmm. He's dead in the hospital, brain dead. He's dying. Jackie takes a flight out to Mexico City, right? Straight up. The hospital goes
last month.
This last month. Okay. Hospital goes, he's going to die, or he's basically already dead. And Jackie goes, well, then we're going to switch him to another hospital right now. They go, you can't unhook him. You can't unhook. If you unhook him, he's going to die. But you already said he's dead. Yeah, but he's not dead yet, but he is going to die. Mm-hmm. She's like, well, then I'm moving him to this other hospital. And they go, if you unhook him, you just killed your brother. Okay. So what is it? Are you guys going to save him and he's going to live? Or I unhook him and he's going to die and it's my fault? What is this here? Her whole family freezes. Nobody can make a decision. Jackie goes, get the fucking private ambulance here. We're moving him now. They go, if you move him, you just killed your brother. She goes, the whole time I can hear my brother saying, you're going to let me fucking die in this piece of shit hospital? Get me the fuck out of here. So she goes, dude, private ambulance, let's go. And anyways, long story short, his brain was like 18% fluid in the back of his brain. And they said if 2% more fluid gets in there, he's paralyzed immediately. There's no chance of recovery. He's going to be a vegetable. If he hits one speed bump on a 45-minute travel in Mexico City, one speed bump, he's done. They get him in. They get him to the other hospital. She takes the risk. This is all about taking risks. She takes the risk, go to the other place. When they get there, he was at 18%. When they got there, he was at 14%. He went down 4 points. Dude, tell me how that happens. She had the courage to take a shift, make a move, and it didn't go bad like everybody said. It went to the positive. Now, secondly, she gets him to Mexico. She gets him to this new hospital. He starts recovering. And when I say recovering, like he's still on life support. He's still breathing out of a tube. He's still eating out of a tube. He can barely open his eyes. He can't speak. He can't talk. He can't do nothing. But he starts writing on a board. What's your daughter's name? Writes down her name. What's your name? What year is it? Just pretty simple shit. Okay? One eye's open, one eye's closed. Still looking like a vegetable. They say, well, there's no way, it's going to take at least years. He'll never walk again. He'll never do this again. He'll never do that again. They go through this whole thing. That's why I got to tell you, no matter who tells you something can't happen, like that's all bullshit. Human beings are resilient. It's just, how hard are you willing to push and who are you teamed up with? My wife saved her brother. Now watch this. She After being there for a week with him, right, as recovering him, she goes, we need to make a move again. And literally, she goes, we're going to get a private jet. We're flying him from Mexico City to Phoenix. We're going to fly him here. They go, you can't, if you take him in the air flight with that pressure, with his brain injury, with everything, he'll die in the airplane. If you take your brother, you're going to sign these forms right now saying that you killed your brother in the airplane.
Yeah.
Bro, listen. Jackie goes, no fucking way. We're taking him. So she gets a private airplane, 2 nurses, a doctor, unhooks him, brings him on the jet, private jet medical, here, flies. We pay for it all out of pocket. Get him here. They said, you have to take him to a center immediately. You have to take him to a center. She goes, we're taking him to the house. There's like, you can't take him to your house. She goes, no, we ordered a medical bed. We ordered all the machines, all the oxygen stuff, everything. We're going to take him to our house. I'm having 2 nurses ready. I'm having a doctor in the house. And he's going to be around people that love him, that care about him. He's not going to recover in a fucking hospital. We're getting him out. Dude, literally, just hearing the kids play, things happening, life instead of death.
Yeah.
Bring him here. They said, don't do it. He's going to die. Guess what? It's a month and a half later today. This morning, right, we literally just went and got him x-rayed, got him checked out. He walks around, no cane, eats on his own, no throat deal anymore,
Wow.
no breathing tube, literally speaks great, running around doing things they said he would never do. In a month and a half, a dead guy comes back to life. That's a month and a half, dude. A month and 20 days from dead to walking around. If you go in my house right now, he's walking around. I'm going to tell you this, man. The fact that we could watch him grow that quick shows you that every day there's miracles that can be made in people, and people don't understand how badass human beings are and how resilient they are. So if you're fucked up today, like, dude, you can change everything. That guy went from dead to being alive now when nobody said he could. So if somebody's completely healthy right now and they're watching this, like, dude, who could they become in a month and a half if they give everything they had? And that's the power of like what we're doing with other people. That's why we got to keep changing.
Yeah.
So anyways, this is called The Comeback Kid. I just told you a really cool comeback story. Albert, let's leave him with the message. Anything on your heart, something you want to say to him. Hit him right in the throat.
How old is your brother-in-law?
He's 48.
48.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You saved his life.
Jackie did.
Jackie did.
Yeah, and by the way, because she had the courage to make a decision.
Yeah.
The shorter your decision-making time gets, the more successful you'll be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the biggest message here is you need courage to be successful. We heard it before. You don't really need money. Like, for me, like, I started my first business with $3,000.
That's right.
I know a lot of other big successful people that started companies with $2,000, $5,000. They borrowed money. They put it on a credit card.
Yep.
And they went broke. They didn't give up. So, like, if you're thinking like, hey, maybe I'm Latino or I'm from Africa or I don't belong here. I'm an example that, hey, you know what? Like,
Yeah, you're living proof.
You don't have to be a certain color. Like me and you, like you're married to a Mexican. You're white. I'm brown. We're friends. We're both winning. We're different. But at the same time, we're a lot alike in the, you know what? Like, people
you
doubted
don't quit.
me.
Yeah.
People told me I can't do shit. And we just went out there and we did it. And
Proving
even
them
though
wrong.
people were telling us that we couldn't, we just went out there and we did it. Like, who would think that you 5 years ago are super broke, and a few years ago, I don't know, you have 30,000 followers, and now you have 2.5 million and growing, and that's only on Instagram. Like, combined on all the platforms, you're getting so much engagement. You're on stage, like you're at a high level, right? You're like probably at the highest level you've been. What keeps you going? Like just quick question for you. Like, what keeps you going, and why don't you stop?
Well, dude, number one, I think there's someone on the other side of that camera, right, that I'm morally letting down if I don't keep pushing. I'm not even playing, dude. Listen, dude, I lived my whole life, and anything that I did was all for money. And, dude, in 2019, I changed my intentions at 39 years old. I said, fuck money. money's going to come last. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to start taking better care of my kids. I'm going to start taking better care of my wife. I'm going to actually start being good to me. And dude, I got close to God. And by the way, like, I'm not civilized, okay? Like, I cuss. People say, well, you can't be a Christian and cuss. Dude, listen, I know a lot of people that don't cuss that are Christians. They got really bad hearts, okay? So don't even give me that shit, all right? At least I am what I am. And you see what you have with me.
But Andy, what were you doing bad in 2019? Like, what were you doing bad to your wife, to your kids?
I was average. That's what I was doing bad. The God of this generation is comfort. The God of the generation that we live in is comfort.
So you were just average.
Yep. The devil doesn't have to ruin your life or make you bad.
You weren't like cheating, using drugs, drinking, partying, none of that.
I partied, I drank, I did drugs in my life, but I wasn't doing that then.
So 2019, your problem was just you were just being average.
I'm Albert Preciado. If you like what you're watching and you want to learn from an entrepreneur that built 8 companies and makes over $30 million a year, text me at 213-277-6208 and let's make it happen.
I was being average, which is the most disrespectful thing to God if you're healthy. That's it, man. Look, dude, the devil doesn't have to take you out by ruining your life.
Yeah.
The devil needs to take you out by making you average. If you're average, you can't help anyone else, and that's exactly what he wants to do.
Yeah.
So the next time that you're like, dude, I'm good. Okay, good job, asshole. You just fucked a lot of people. Okay? So like I'm after this legacy of like changing other people's lives. Like, dude, I know there's people on the other side of this camera. There's people that are going to be laughing, they're going to be hating, and they're going to be doing all this shit. This message today wasn't for those people.
Yeah.
This message was for the people, the right message, the right person at the right time that are like, dude, I'm ready to go kick some ass. Okay, you know what? If we can just get 5 people today. Look, we hope it's 5,000, but if we get 5 people today to make a decision and change their life, the ripple effect of that will be insane. And the 50,000 haters that are going to hate and they're going to be like, oh, screw these guys and all that shit. Dude, those people one day are going to get a bad doctor's report. They're going to have something happen in their life and they're going to be like, those motherfuckers were right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hey, I hope it feels good that you're sitting there hating. What kind of example does that show that to your kids? Yeah, you're gonna let them be little gossipers, and they're gonna be little shit talkers too. Look, dude, one day they're gonna pay because of your weakness, okay? And one day you're gonna look up and you're gonna try to go for it, and you're gonna realize everybody's gonna laugh at you too, because that's what happens when you try to start something big. So, anyways, I love my haters. You know, they're awesome, man.
You have a lot?
Oh yeah, dude. Anytime that you try to do something to help other people, everybody's going to tell you every reason in the world why you're not qualified, why people shouldn't listen to you. They're going to make fun of you. And dude, these are the people that aren't causing any impact. They're not helping anybody, and they're not doing anything in life. They're doing nothing, okay? And listen, I don't care about how much money you make. They're going to laugh at your clothes. They're going to laugh at, you know, the way that you talk. They're going to laugh at, you know, who do you think you are? They're going to try to bring up your past. Dude, I love it. I love every second of it. That's food. That shit motivates me. Thank you guys. But what we are doing is we are burning their eyes out, right? With staying consistent, staying true to who we are, and just keep changing people's lives and not pivoting. And so we need to die this way.
Quick question for you. Like, what's one thing that you're working on right now to improve? Like, if you could name one thing you're working on to improve, like, cause you know, you got the biceps, you got the legs, you got the money, you got the wife, you got the kids,
No, I think
you got the office, and you have nice cars and things, home, even though you don't show it a lot, you know, but what's one thing that you're working on? And I want to know this for myself. Like, what is a bad habit that you have? Because you can't be perfect.
Honestly, like, I just want to keep my word. Like, that's my biggest thing. I tell my company, that's my number one thing. The number one thing that I'm working on is that if I tell someone I'm going to do something, I have to do it. And if I tell someone to do something, I have to be doing it myself also.
I heard you're going to do $1 billion in sales.
Well, I mean, I want to be a billionaire, but like,
I think you said you were going to do it because you did 160 million.
I think it'll take us 5 years to get to $1 billion.
$1 billion in dollars in sales.
In sales. Well, I mean, sales is
in
everything.
revenue.
Yeah, in revenue.
How many salespeople do you need for that?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't quite figured out the math yet. I think we're going to get there by digital real estate. It won't happen from salespeople in house. That'll be a thing of a mixture of algorithm. It'll be a mixture of how well we keep our word, right? Because look, the greatest thing to grow any business is word of mouth. Mm-hmm. That's facts. Okay, so no matter how good we are on social media,
is that why you like to speak on stages a lot?
Well, that's why we like to do the in-face training a lot. Mm-hmm. Okay, our face-to-face game, in-face training, dude. If somebody's in a conference with me, like, I'm gonna change their life.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it is Look, there may be one person that walked out of an event and go, dude, I didn't change my life today. So that's why we love the in-face game. People see people on social media. They can't decipher what's real, what's not. It's really hard to see the heart on social media.
Yeah.
But when you're in a room with somebody and you get to spend 5-8 hours with them, and they literally get to see your heart, they get to hear the stories, they get to understand your strategies, the skill that you're doing. Like, these people will never be the same again because of those rooms, which is why we're building the Elliott Army Event Center, because right now we've outgrown it. But the face-to-face game is the fastest way to do it.
And what you guys do differently than other sales teams, sales armies, is that you guys all, like, the bond that you have, like everybody works out together, everybody's like in shape. Like, I see other top sales companies and they're not in shape. Like, you guys are all tank tops and jacked.
Well, the belief system, the biggest mistake that companies make is they all don't believe in the same things. And people say, well, we got to diversify. You expect us all to believe in the same? Yes, I do, actually. When you go to hire people for a company, there should be a set of standards and beliefs that this company has. And we should hire people that have the same beliefs and the same standards as the company has.
Yeah.
People are like, well, we need to diversify. What does that mean? I'm not talking about race, religion, or color. I'm talking about the core values, beliefs of the people need to be the same.
Yeah.
If you come in here and you're like, dude, I don't want to work out. Well, how did you get here? Like, we've put our message out there in the world that we want to take care of ourselves, right? If you come here and you're shitty to your wife, I'm going to fire you day one. But, like, that's a core value we have. We're good to our family. Like, like those are things that we believe in. And so I think companies, they hire because they're looking for someone to do the job.
I don't think anybody in your company wears ties, right? Suits and ties?
Jacob Hagerman.
Jacob.
No, dude, you got to go see him. He's dressed to the hilt right now.
Really?
Yeah, he looks
He's
like
the only one?
He looks like the president of the United States.
Is he jacked?
Yeah, he's jacked.
Yeah?
But that's just what he does, man. That's his style. That's how he wants to do it, and that's his deal. So I love him.
Yeah.
It's just hot as hell. It's 120 degrees in Arizona. So
will we ever see, like, Andy Elliott with a suit and tie?
Hell no. I went out one time trying to wear a suit jacket, and honestly, I felt like I was stuttering. I couldn't even get it out. I was like, dude, this is not me.
Yeah.
This is too weird. And then I rolled the sleeves up, and then I, like, unbuttoned my shirt, and then I was like, this ain't me either.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, somebody give me a fucking T-shirt.
Yeah.
And they gave me a T-shirt, and it was an Elliot shirt, and I tucked it in, and I went out with my slacks, and I was like, all right, this feels more like me.
Yeah.
And so, but anybody watching this, guys, come back. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you did. Okay, it's all about from today forward.
Yeah. And we'll talk about it next time. But, like, personal brand is big. Like, you have a personal brand, like, starting with your shorts, your the muscles. Like, I think that's a big part of your personal brand.
Yeah.
Because I asked you, like, hey, what happened to your slacks? Because you used to wear the slacks.
Yeah, I got rid of them.
I think the cut. Yeah, and you're like, I'm just doing my shorts, but it's your brand. Like, people are talking about your shorts, like, all the time.
I love it.
And it's just getting you more followers and more money. So, like, I'm like, dude, you guys can talk about his shorts, but it's making them money.
But listen, I just tell him, I'm like, dude, listen, if you skip legs, I get it. You need to wear slacks.
Yeah.
But when you hit leg day, like, you can wear shorts.
Yeah.
Look, one day you'll be able to wear shorts too.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, I'm just going to play back with them.
Yeah.
But you got to know who you are. You can't care what other people think. And the most important thing is just, like, find your brand. And I love short shorts. That's how I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I like that. And that's my style.
And when people talk shit about you or criticize you, you like it. You feel you get feel from it.
I don't even care. Honestly, if anybody even commented on this, I don't see my social media comments.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll never even see it. So appreciate you. Thanks for feeding the algorithm.
Yeah.
Say all you want.
100%.
It doesn't matter. And, people know who haters are. People know that people that leave negative shit are negative people. Okay. So, like, we love the people leaving, great comments that are changing their lives. And by the way, we make this content not for people to comment. We make this content for people to change their lives.
Right.
So I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, guys, make sure that you go follow Albert on Instagram. He's awesome. You guys can connect with him. Give me your Instagram one more time.
At the Albert Preciado, or just Google me, Albert Preciado.
Let's go, guys. And everybody have a blessed day. We'll see you in the next video. Let's kill it.
I'm Albert Preciado. If you like what you're watching and you want to learn from an entrepreneur that built 8 companies and makes over $30 million a year, text me at 213-277-6208 and let's make it happen.